You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
There's a new headline on Infowars.com. Black Guerrilla Family, that's a black supremacist group, says the Bloods and the Crips plan to take out Baltimore cops as a response. And the mayor says, well, they're allowing rioting in certain areas. I mean, this is all trying to get a summer of rage going as a pretext to put military on the streets. It's pure psyop. Obama sending people to the funeral delegation simply to hype this up. We need to send a crew out. One of our reporters was just saying, Mikhail Thalen, with signs saying Black Lives Matter at abortuaries, because that's where the real killing's going on. And people will say, well, why are you giving that idea? Well, we're going to do it because I don't care. People need to start doing that. That's where the real Black Lives Matter. Jakari Jackson, you've been there since 9 this morning. Great job with Joe Biggs and others for the InfoWars crew. You're out front, the Judicial Building, where they have the county council. We call them county commissioners here. Very interesting video that I saw, but you were there for the whole time. What's your takeaway overall today, Jakari Jackson?
Well, it seems to me, Alex, that the people are very much apprehensive of the drill in general. Some people were completely against it, other people were one way or the other. And I was very curious that the commission and the spokesman really wouldn't hear their concerns as far as canceling the drill. They said, yeah, we're here to talk to people, but it really wasn't something where they were going to make a decision whether or not to have the drill. It was pretty much, yeah, you can come and voice your concerns and we'll pretty much write it in the meeting minutes and nothing's going to happen. So the people I talked to said that they should have some type of recourse to cancel the drill or at least postpone it until people's fears can be alleviated.
Well, just from what I saw, he was being a little bit smart-mouthed. They would also try to just say, ask your question. They would try to poo-poo it. But I heard a lot of stuff that Colonel said that we know is not true from their own paperwork they put out to the public.
Yeah, and I had a chance to interview him briefly, just asked a couple of questions because I approached the guy. I said, hey, Colonel, can I get a quick word? He said, you're with Infowars.com. I was like, yeah. And he said, you asked me a question. I was like, yeah, I did, respectfully. And he was like, okay, well, what are you going to ask me? How many questions are you going to ask me? I was like, you didn't ask. I think, were they talking to KXAN, Josh? Yeah, they talked to KXAN right before I walked up. And he didn't screen their question. He didn't ask how many questions you guys want to ask me, you know, what question are you going to ask? So I said, okay, how about we just ask 3 questions? He said, okay. And they weren't, I was trying to be as unredundant as possible and ask him, you know, just some stuff off the top of my head because we have plenty of stuff of him kind of dancing around questions. But, you know, it's just basically a PIO's answer. You know, Alex, I know you've encountered these people. I have, David has, Joe Biggs has, of course. And their job is pretty much just to give you the most undescript answer as possible. You know, nothing that deviates too much from the script or from the cue cards. But, you know, he did come out here and face the firing squad. And, of course, like most of the people here, I respect him for his military service. But I think he left the people here very unsatisfied in his answers.
Well, sure, and he said it's about my uniform, it's about me, you can trust me, as if he was the commander-in-chief, as if he was the George Washington. He said, this organization's been around 240 years. The globalists are overthrowing that organization right now, and that's why they don't just have the portly PR guy, Hubble, out there anymore, whatever his name is, Meade. They now are rolling out the military people, hoping that that sells the public.
Yeah, that's right. You know, he's a guy who came out here. He's very sharp. I'm gonna step up on this tree, Alex. But yeah, he was a very well-spoken guy, and the people, you know, they were very respectful. I thought by and large there was a couple of outbursts, but you know, the people were very respectful by and large. But they just weren't here to answer the questions of the public. They were here to reinforce the narrative that they also they've already stated, and that's just, you know, it's pretty much move along. There's nothing to see here. And my question, when I had a chance to ask the colonel during the meeting, I asked him, you know, where did these role players come from, and would there be any drills to round up and or detain these people? And at first he didn't want to answer, or he kind of answered roundabout, but he eventually said, yes, it is a possibility these people could be rounded up during the course of the drill.
There you go. So confirmed. They are going to practice roundups. Great job, Jakari Jackson. Go get some lunch on the company, and then we'll see you guys back here for the Nightly News tonight in a roundtable discussion. Again, that's Nightly News tonight, 7 o'clock Central. Lord willing, I'll be back tomorrow live, 11 a.m. as well. Pray for us. And with the Prime Minister.
Not a single 11th grade student showed up to take the SBAC Common Core Standardized Test at Nathan Hale High School last week. But students aren't the only ones walking out on